This clip is sponsored by American Mobile. If you're a nurse interested in traveling, visit americanmobile.com to get started. How do you wish you would be celebrated during Nurses Week? Callie wrote, I honestly wish we didn't have to have Nurses Week. It seems that only professions that are seriously underappreciated and underpaid have a quote-unquote week. I would much rather have the respect of the community and a decent wage increase. But if I had to say, it would be nice to have safe staffing ratios for Nurses Week. I agree. That would be great to just have like a couple like nursing contracts out there. Be like, hey, for a couple weeks, we're going to like staff this unit really well. We're going to staff all the units. So like it's going to be a good week. That's a great one. But I agree. Yeah. I mean, the professions that are underpaid and underappreciated, we get a week. Shelby wrote, love free food, catered lunch, breakfast burritos, ice cream, gift cards. Of course, a bonus would be amazing. Yeah. Free food and catered lunch for sure. For sure, that definitely helps. Breakfast burritos, just like quick things to just grab, gift cards are always nice. Matt wrote, this one's tough to think of anything that's not in some way related to money. Could be because of money. I slurred over my words there. Maybe a raffle for a parking spot at the hospital on day shift, or I like how they sometimes interview a nurse for our bathroom newsletter. Maybe do a couple a day for every day of Nurses Week and post it around the unit. I always learn a lot about our coworkers through that. Yeah, like nurses spotlights. I think that this would be a perfect week to do something like that. I hope management is listening to these. Shannon wrote, well, at one of my assignments in Raleigh, I got a charcuterie board. What? That is nice. And I thought that is like not what I got, soap. And I thought that was really fun and unique. I also think any sort of gear that represents the hospital or the unit is nice because it's a way to show support for your work, but it feels so much better than just getting a pizza party. Truth. I like a shirt or a jacket, for example. I love when travel nurse agencies give you scrubs. That's always nice because otherwise we buy our own. Some hospitals do food trucks, which is really fun, but almost your whole break is spent waiting in line. Would be amazing if someone went down and got the food and brought it back for the staff. So true, yeah. Because you always get these like little newsletters that, all the things that are happening around the hospital, but like you are busy, so you can't partake in those things. That would be, bring the food up or have it catered right to the nurses. Jordan wrote, this is a tough one to answer because at the end of the day, I became a nurse to help people during their hardest time when they're sick, vulnerable, and unable to care for themselves. I'm a nurse because I want to be that healing hand and advocate for someone who cannot do that for themselves. When I get to tell a family that their loved one is now extubated and able to communicate, that's the reward I get for being a nurse. That's how I feel celebrated, even though no one else may ever know all of the things I just did to keep their loved one alive, so they could survive and be able to see their family again. This is very altruistic, Jordan. Over the past 2 years, it has come to light in the public eye the value of nurses and the care that they give and their impact on the world. It does seem that we are getting a little more recognition, but it doesn't seem that we're getting any more than that. But again, the reason I went into nursing was the feeling of reward I get from helping to save a life and keeping a family member on this earth with their loved ones. It has been a little comical to see some of the posts on social media about the nurses' gifts for Nurses Week. For example, I can remember last year, I believe that we got a roll of lifesavers because we're lifesavers. When I told my mom this, she was very upset and said every nurse needs to get at least 1 week paid vacation for what they have gone through over the past 2 years. And that's not even enough. For sure, it is. She continually ordered our unit Chick-fil-A weekly and always said, "I wish I could do more for you guys. This was so greatly appreciated, and it truly brought a smile to everyone on the unit when it was Chick-fil-A day." Oh my God, Jordan's mom. So freaking sweet, just carrying the unit. She continues to say, it's hard to answer how I would want to be celebrated during Nurses Week because I'm in this profession not for the accolades and recognition, but for helping people. It is nice to see Nurses Week be celebrated on the news and in public eye simply to bring awareness to the selflessness that most nurses exhibit day in and day out at the bedside. It might be more effective to show what nurses actually do every day, though. Truth. Having a real view of the 12 hours at a bedside, I think, would be very effective in letting people realize what nurses do for the whole shift. I think this was brought to light then. I think if this was brought to light, then the pay compensation to nurses would increase, and it would make me feel more appreciated for what I do. At the end of the day, I want to be celebrated for Nurses Week by feeling like I'm valued with how I am compensated in pay and benefits throughout the year, not just for 1 week out of the year. That is so true. I mean, I think honestly the best gift would be to be seen. And I think that's probably what, underneath it all, what we're trying to accomplish. But then it just gets like caked on with like freaking, candy and like gel pens and just like, I think underneath it all, this week is so that we can be celebrated for the amazing work that we do, but nobody really knows what that really means. So that's so true. I mean, we all just want to be valued, truly valued and understood, like what we do in a day.